It was too early, it was too soon.
You keep thinking about excuses though. No, you don't hear me come out with one excuse. Oh, you know, he's a heavier weight.
Just now, Conor Benn has been ambushed by Chris Eubank's team, and the tension has reached boiling point. His anger is visible, and his warning is clear that all revenge will be delivered inside the ring. Chris Eubank Jr. better be ready, because Ben looks like a man who wants to settle this in blood and pride.
He's Chris, isn't he? Like his dad. So I like him as much as I possibly can.
Conor Benn looks completely lost in this moment, trying to defend his mindset while clearly struggling to explain himself. Chris Eubank Jr. must be smiling because this kind of confusion shows weakness. When a fighter starts questioning his own purpose, the opponent already has the mental advantage.
Historically bad. So I wonder, when you're sitting there watching that after the war that you just had 6 days prior, what is going through your mind as you're watching those fights in Times Square?
And I'm a little bit confused. Like, do you want to be a fighter?
The tension here is absolutely electric as Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. go head-to-head with raw emotion. Both men refuse to back down, but Eubank Jr. seems to be controlling the mind games better. Conor's frustration is boiling over, and his lack of composure might cost him inside the ring.
I'm not going to prepare for this. That's what you keep coming out of. I don't need you to make up excuses for me if you think I'm going to lose.
No excuses.
Dave Coldwell's reaction sums up the entire press conference. Things got far too personal when Conor Benn crossed the line. Eubank Jr. stayed calm while Benn lost control and turned the moment into chaos. When emotions replace discipline, you know who's already won the psychological battle.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Does that cross the lane, do you think?
Yeah, it does. Listen, the presser was good. It was a great presser, back and forth, poking each other, but not too far. But once you get physical and you touch a man's face, then
Adam Smith is absolutely right. This chaos has only fueled the hype around the fight. Fans are now desperate to see who can back up their talk inside the ropes. Conor Benn's aggression has drawn headlines, but Eubank Jr.'s composure makes him look like the professional of the two.
Twice as big for the casual fans. Do we condone it? I mean, in boxing terms, should that happen at a head-to-head? Of course not, but these things do happen. This is the fight business, and it's just made it even bigger, and we wait to see what happens next.
Conor Benn tries to sound calm, but his bitterness is clear. He says he does not want to hurt anyone, yet his tone suggests deep anger toward Chris Eubank Jr. It feels like Conor is trying to convince himself more than the audience. His words reveal how much Eubank is living rent-free in his mind.
I don't like Chris. I don't have to like him, but no one's out to hurt anybody here, you know. And it's a shame that he lives in that world of paranoia where he genuinely believes that anybody's out to get him, because nobody really is. And it's for his toenail. I couldn't care less about his toenail. I don't care. I mean, I'll cut some of mine off and give it to him if he wants.
Johnny Nelson voices what many fans feel. The situation surrounding Conor Benn's camp keeps changing by the hour, leaving everyone confused and frustrated. Eubank Jr.'s team, however, appears focused and disciplined. This contrast between chaos and control could be the biggest difference when fight night arrives.
It don't matter what drugs you take. It doesn't make you a better fighter. It might make you stronger, it might make you fit. It doesn't make you a better fighter, and that's proof. You know, so until more news comes out.
Frank Warren's words underline just how messy this whole saga has become. Legal issues, uncertainty, and public clashes have overshadowed the fight itself. Yet Eubank Jr. remains focused on business while Conor Benn keeps defending his name. One man is preparing for war while the other is fighting noise outside the ring.
Let the penny drop that the fight could never go forward. And some of the stuff that's come out since about people being, the board being sued and something, and so forth, is just a non-runner. It's crazy. I mean, the fact of the matter.
Hamza Shiraz gives Conor Benn credit for his explosive power, but many believe he is underestimating Chris Eubank Jr.'s experience and chin. Benn's style relies on aggression, yet that same energy might play right into Eubank's counterpunching. This prediction could age badly if Benn fails to control his emotions under pressure.
What's your prediction, Ben or Eubank?
I've got Conor Benn to win inside 6 rounds. I feel like the weight will affect Eubank too much on how it affected him before as well. And it was a hard fight. It wasn't an easy fight. yeah, Conor Benn to win inside about.
George Groves delivers a very grounded observation here, praising Chris Eubank Jr. for his peak achievement while warning him about the danger of chasing that same high again. His words sound like a boxer talking from experience, not criticism. Conor Benn's supporters interpret this as an opening, believing Eubank might already be past his best. But to others, it shows Eubank's hunger to keep proving himself in big moments.
I think maybe Conor Benn beats him. I think if I was Eubank, my point was at the time, I was like, mate, like you have just climbed your Everest. You've just headlined a stadium. You've beat what is now a rival, spectacular fashion in terms of getting the win with your dad by your side and all the hooting and hollering that went on between, amongst it. You can't top that feeling. I don't begrudge you if you want to earn more money out of the sport, but be careful because you look way past his best.
Teddy Atlas calmly breaks down the matchup with pure logic. He sees the fight through the lens of size and control, highlighting how Conor Benn's aggression could be his own downfall against a bigger man. His tone feels brutally honest as always, offering zero bias, just pure fight math. This kind of take brings a sense of realism back into a rivalry built on emotion.
My preview of this fight is the same as it would have been for the fathers. How unusual is that? So you got Ben, the smaller man, and then there's a hydration clause. He was a welterweight that he fought a few fights at junior middleweight, but Eubank's been a middleweight and super middleweight most of his career. So he is the guy who's bigger. I see the fight as Ben having to get close without taking damage.
Gordon Ramsay may not be a boxing expert, but his perspective captures public sentiment perfectly. He respects both fighters, yet points out the physical reality of jumping 2 weight classes. His pick for Eubank after 6 rounds mirrors what many believe. Ben has to start fast, take risks, and finish before Eubank's conditioning takes over. It's a raw and relatable take from an unexpected voice.
And jumping up a weight is hard, but jumping up 2 is even harder. So Chris has got the advantage if it goes past 6. Ben's got to get this done early, otherwise it's going to be Chris's. I predict Chris in round 6.
Bomac's confidence in Chris Eubank Jr. feels firm and unshaken. His statement reflects belief in Eubank's natural talent and discipline at middleweight. It's a coach's eye seeing potential beyond hype. While fans debate if Ben has the explosiveness to steal the night, Bomac's tone suggests Eubank's control and experience will eventually make the difference.
I said, man, once you get past this fight, you dominate this fight, they can't deny you fighting for a world title, At 160, I believe he can be a world champion.
At 160?
At 160, I believe he can be a world champion.
Conor Benn loses his cool completely here, snapping at Chris Eubank Jr. with raw anger and frustration. The tension is real, and his words cut through with emotion that feels unfiltered. This isn't just talk, it's a fighter's pride boiling over. Ben looks like a man tired of being disrespected, ready to let his fists do the talking next time.
You know what happens when you have an agreement? Do you know what happens? You know when you sign a contract? Do you know what that is?
I didn't sign a contract.
Do you know what that is?
To fight you on
Do you know what that is?
I signed,
do you know what that is?
Rematch you. I didn't sign.
Do you know what that is?
So
do you know what an agreement is?
Now the date is perfect.
But do you know what an agreement is? Do you understand?
No, I don't know what agreement is. What is it?
Well, you're an idiot. That's why.
Oscar De La Hoya speaks like a man who knows what war inside the ring feels like. His warning about an immediate rematch hits different because it comes from experience. He recognizes the emotional and physical toll both fighters took in their first clash. The statement feels less like analysis and more like a survival message to both camps. De La Hoya knows the kind of mental and physical scars a rivalry like Ben versus Eubank can leave behind, and his tone almost sounds protective of their futures.
With these rematches, with these types of intense fights taking place, like Conor and Eubank, a rematch right away will probably end their career. It's that intense.
Ade Oladipo's take brings logic wrapped in excitement. He points out that Eubank's size played a role in the first fight, but he also highlights how Conor Benn now carries experience from that loss. The insight that Ben has felt Eubank's power before and knows what to expect adds a new layer to the rematch story. Ade also reminds fans that this rivalry is bigger than just revenge. It is about legacy and world titles. His delivery mixes realism with hype, which keeps the audience hanging on every word.
Ultimately, in the end, sort of bigger guy won it. The rematch is going to be interesting, I think. He's now realised that I can hurt that fighter. I've felt the other fighter's power. Next time, I know what's coming. I think he might even do better in the next one. Yeah, I think he's got a shout to win it.
And Eubank's older.
I get these fights, but you do want to see Ben. Can you kick on to try and win a...
Carl Frosch gives Conor Benn genuine advice that only a seasoned fighter can offer. He tells Ben to stay calm and conserve energy instead of fighting with pure emotion. Ben listens, but his body language shows frustration, the kind of restlessness that defines his aggressive style. Frosch's message of patience and control sounds wise, yet it almost clashes with Ben's nature. It's a clash between experience and instinct, between the calm of a veteran and the fire of a young contender trying to prove his worth.
I'd like to see you calm it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Just on the outside, just the movement, just steady it down.
Boring though, Carl.
No. On the outside, man, you don't want to be chucking energy away and burning down the bar. Think of it.
It's boring.
No, it's not boring, because then you get in range and make it exciting.
Simon Jordan's comments dive into the emotional core of the Benn versus Eubank rivalry. He highlights how the fight connects to family bonds and father-son legacies more than just boxing itself. The mention of Eubank calling his dad after the fight adds depth to the rivalry, reminding fans that both men fight with their father's shadows behind them. Jordan's tone blends sarcasm with insight, questioning how long the hype can last before fans want something deeper.
One main thing that's not on the headlines of news is when you talk to people about their relationship with their parents, they link it a lot to that show, which I was surprised about. People like, I called my dad as soon as I left the arena.
Chris Eubank said that, didn't he?
He
said that.
People I've spoken to personally was like, I called my dad, I texted him straight
But as
away.
a spectacle,
Like,
which was the big
amazing.
translation, wasn't it? Which people said it crossed over. I mean, there's only so many times he's going to tell Barry Hearn's son to shut up at a press conference, isn't there? There's only so many times we're going to be able to hear Chris Eubank.
Chris Eubank Jr. speaks with fury that still feels fresh from the controversy. His words carry both accusation and humiliation toward Conor Benn. This isn't just about competition, it's about integrity and pride. The line about an egg across the face has become one of his most viral quotes, symbolizing his anger toward what he sees as a broken code of honor. Eubank stands firm as the moral voice of the rivalry, while Benn's defenders argue that he has already paid his price. The fire between them refuses to fade.
We can't let them cheat, get caught cheating, and then act like it's okay and I'm cleared and I can't say why, but no. If you get caught with drugs in your system, especially in a fight against me, then the minimum you're going to receive is an egg across your face.
Conor Benn's words show pure frustration mixed with pride as he tries to distance himself from one of boxing's most controversial moments. His refusal to accept the test results shows how deeply he believes in his innocence or how much he wants others to believe it. The emotion in his voice gives the impression of a man who feels cornered yet refuses to break. This exchange adds another layer to the ongoing drama between Benn and Eubank as every word seems to challenge the public's perception of truth in the sport.
It's a valid point. Do you accept that these substances were found in your body?
There's nothing to accept.
No.
It's the facts.
No?
No.
It's the facts.
Because
I never took anything knowingly. I never took.
No, but that's a different question.
Yeah.
Whether you took it knowingly or not, do you accept that they were
I struggle
found?
to accept.
The tension between Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. has reached a boiling point, and this rematch is far more than just another fight. It is about pride, family legacy, and the right to clear a name in front of the world. Benn stands as a man who feels betrayed by the system and desperate to prove his innocence through fists, not words. Eubank Jr., on the other hand, sees himself as the guardian of boxing's integrity, a man unwilling to let what he views as cheating slide. The crowd is split, some seeing Benn as a victim, others as a villain, but everyone knows this rivalry has transformed into something personal and historic. When the bell rings, only one question will matter: who will write his redemption story, and who will fall under the weight of his own words? Drop your predictions below, because this one could define British boxing forever.